Dahl and Tom McManus. This is
Helmets, and Heels.
Helmets and Heels on 1010XL.
I'm just so glad it's Friday.
Me too.
We have football tonight, college football. Louisville taking on Miami down in South Florida. And, of course, we have a great slate on Saturday. And then early Sunday morning, 4-2 Jacksonville Jaguars play host, technically, in London at Wembley Stadium to the 4-2 Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a game that is going to determine a lot for the season. Like, if the Jaguars somehow, some way find a way to win, I feel like that's going to portend really good things for the rest of the season. If the Jaguars get blown out, that makes me really nervous, even though I know the bye is coming up. And if it's a really close back-and-forth game, again, I feel like that's going to give us indicators on who this Jacksonville Jaguars team really is.
I think it'll definitely tell us where they're at right now, right? You go, have a great win, back-to-back wins, and then the one on Monday night, and then not fare well the next game. So how do you do the game after? Do you come back like you were playing when you were winning and smash them in the face and show them who the boss is? Or are you going to have another struggling performance and not come away with a victory? So if we end up 4-3 with back-to-back losses, depending on how they lose, if they lose, I think they're going to win. I think it's going to be very tight, though. Where are they at after, 7 games? It'll give us a great indicator because, look, you got the bye week. You expect them to beat the Raiders, right? But you never know. Maybe, the running back, Genty, goes off for 203 scores. Who knows?
And Max
you know what I
Crosby.
mean? Yeah, you just never know. Max Crosby goes off.
Not even put this in the universe.
I mean, that's the funny thing about football, too. Isn't it? College, pro, it doesn't matter. Like, you're going in, you think, oh, that's a win, that's a win, that's a loss. And then as the season goes, like, no,
Never
that's
mind.
not a loss. That's a win, but that's not a win either. That's going to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's because things do change. But this will determine where we're at right now. And I'm hoping for a really strong performance, at the minimum covering the spread, because I haven't taken with the points, but at the minimum of that, but winning the game, because it will tell us where they're at. They took a step back last week, Taylor. They did. They got punched in the mouth, and they didn't respond the way we all thought they would. So now's a chance to do that.
Yeah, and I think that's, for me, what this game will show. Was that game the one-off from what we've seen when it comes to the offensive line? That was the worst we've seen the offensive line look when it comes to Trevor. Trevor had a lot of issues on there in that game. The defense at moments had issues in that game. And obviously without Devin Lloyd, and you don't have Devin Lloyd again this week, are you able to get Ventrell in there enough to make enough plays to make up for Devin Lloyd not being out there? Can Greg Newsome settle in a little bit more after being here 2 weeks? So I think there's a lot of things, not saying it's a permanent answer that, like, if they win this weekend, everything's fixed and everything's perfect. Not that, but which team do you have right now? Was it the team against Seattle that had issues all over the offense and the defense, or can those things kind of settle out and be fixed against a really good Rams team? And so I do think, especially, you're having that part of that storyline is the Rams got there later. Can you take advantage of some of those things and the experience?
Yeah, they're not even there yet.
Yeah, they're still traveling.
Right.
Yeah.
I saw Matthew Stafford on the mound throwing pitches at Camden Park right now.
Yeah.
And he was a baseball player, so he was
He
loving
played
life.
with Kershaw, so they were
Yeah.
like kind of having that storyline, which is cool. But so I do think that you do get an answer of which Jags do you have, and I like that you said right now in this point in time, because I still think you have the opportunity to get better and fix things throughout the season. Once players get healthy, you still have a club on Trayvon's hands. Some of those things, I think you can still see this team improve throughout the year, but you don't want to see the product that was on the field last year. It was messy. You talked about the lack of energy that was in there. Last week, And so
we don't even want to talk about last year.
Right. I'm not talking about last year. So those are the things that you want to kind of see. Okay, that was just a bad week.
Yeah, look, I think this team, if it was roles reversed or weeks reversed, if the Jaguars were coming off of the victory over the Chiefs, right, the big win over the Chiefs, and the week before that they had lost to the Seahawks, we would all be sky high and thinking the Jaguars are absolutely going to beat the Rams in London. They're if they were able to beat Patrick Mahomes, they'll be able to beat Matthew Stafford. But because it's the opposite, you had that letdown after Monday Night Football and that win, and the way that it looked, to your point, Taylor, it was a sloppy performance all around, offense, defense, and special teams. Now you're wondering, well, is this team going to continue the slide, or are they going to pick themselves off the mat? And we've talked about it a lot this week, Tom. Is it a Travis Hunter breakout game? It better not be a Devontae Adams breakout game. We know Puka Nacua is not going to play. Right. Devontae Adams is a still really talented wide receiver, and so I think that's the part that I'm really focused on is, yes, Travis Hunter getting some more touches offensively, but defensively, you got to buckle up. You cannot have busted coverages against Devontae Adams like you did last year.
Yeah, you remember
Devin Lloyd was on Devontae last year.
Yeah,
that was
no doubt. Devontae.
He definitely will not be on Sunday.
As their number 2, his stats are a lot better than our number 1. For whatever,
Right, Brian Thomas Jr. has not played up to snuff, that's for sure.
Right, and hopefully
snuff is a British word, right?
Hopefully we see more Travis Hunter on offense. We got to get one of the keys to victory in my book is get the ball into our playmakers' hands. ETN, Travis Hunter, BTJ, however you got to do that, rub routes, crossing routes, let's do those bread and butter plays, get in a good rhythm.
This is a Johnny Munt revenge game, so does Johnny Munt get a touchdown?
Yeah, maybe. We get it to Johnny. I think he's athletic and he's a tough guy, and of course Hunter Long can step in the red zone, but we've got to make sure our playmakers get the ball and that they do something with it. Throw in Parker Washington, give him a few shots at it too, but get the ball out quick, get it into their hands, and let them do what they're paid to do.
I'd love for this, Taylor, to be a Bashal Tutin breakout game. Not saying take touches away from Travis Etienne, but get the ball to a guy who, when in the red zone, he has a nose for the end zone. Yeah. And obviously the Jags didn't have a lot of end zone trips against the Seahawks, but I'd love for Bashal Tutin to kind of announce himself to the world. The one thing that's interesting, and Eric Armstead will not join us today over in London. It's going to be around 8 p.m. when he would normally join us. So he's obviously got some other things to attend to over there. But the Rams have struggled against larger interior defensive linemen. And the Jags interior defensive line hasn't played great to this point necessarily, with Eric Armstead, Devon Hamilton, and then mixing in Mason Smith. But can the Jaguars somehow, some way get a push against that Rams interior offensive line? I think that could certainly lead this Jaguars team back to getting a better pass rush from the outside too.
Yeah, I think you have to try and find ways to create that pass rush right now. And Josh Hines-Allen hasn't performed to where you wanted him to the last couple games. Obviously, Trayvon Walker's not 100%, and he doesn't look 100% out there right now. We will see a few weeks with that club now. Does he get more comfortable? We talked about the awkwardness at first when the video was released of him practicing with it at first, and maybe that starts to get a little more comfortable as he has it on. I don't know, but you do have to find some ways to create some pass rush because Agba hasn't been able to do it. The interior, you see a little bit from the interior, but not nearly as much as you would like, and that is, I think, a recipe to any quarterback, but especially someone like Matthew Stafford. He's not going to move. He's not as fast. He's not going to move around as quick and escape from things like some of these younger guys that you've faced and that you will face. But so I do think that's a big thing, is trying to find a way to create pressures, and we've seen Coach Camp do that in creative ways when it comes to different blitzing different guys, and so I would like to see a little bit more creativeness in that, because I do think that's a way to take advantage of Matthew Stafford, and also he doesn't have Puka down there to just chuck it up and throw it to. You have Devontae, who's a dangerous weapon still, I think. But yeah, I still think it's
they got a Whittingham,
Jordan
I think.
Whittington.
He's pretty decent.
Whittingham
Atwell,
sounds British, but Whittington.
Tutu Atwell, right?
Yeah.
Is that correct? Yeah. So
and he was a full participant at practice.
Look, how about Josh Hines-Allen? When's he going to step up and have really take over? You got to
half
start
a sack
taking
through 6
over.
games is obviously not good
Not
enough, regardless of the pressures, like we
Yeah.
talked about. But he only had 1 pressure against Sam Darnold, and
No.
so overall it wasn't a good enough.
We know with pressure comes turnover. I mean, it's in their first 4 games. That's how they led the league in turnovers. They're still leading the league in interceptions, and a lot of that's from getting pressure on the QB. So it's critical. They've got they're Havenstein, their right tackle. He is out. He's been there for a while, so they'll have to replace him. Him and Puka are both out. Alaric Jackson, their left tackle, he was a sought-after free agent. He ended up re-signing. Was going to play guard, but they slid him out. They got some big guards. The center's been around a while, but, look, we shut down Seattle's run game. Can we do that to Kyron Williams? I know, look, Stafford can carry that offense all by himself. There is no doubt about that. But we did an excellent job shutting down Seattle's run game. And Seattle and LA are very similar. Mm-hmm. They're very similar in the way their team is and how they've been performing. So, can we get that? We got to look. Last week we didn't win the line of scrimmage, either side. We got to at least control the line. You're not always going to win it. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not expecting you to dominate the line of scrimmage, but you got to control the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. And it sounds like
you don't
Robert
want to get out
Hainsey,
physical.
No, but it sounds like Robert Hainsey will be back.
He'll be back.
It does sound like that he's been trending towards that. Mm-hmm. He was a full participant in practice yesterday, which is good.
News.
I also heard Tony Baselli and James Gladstone on Jags HQ yesterday afternoon, and I heard Baselli say something along these lines, like having Hainsey back will be good. And so immediately I read into that, like it sounds like they're planning for him to play, and that is good news. We've got a ton of tickets to give away today, by the way. You thought today was just good because it's a football Friday.
Right.
Ho, ho, ho. Just wait. We have 3 pairs of tickets to go see Eric Church. The headliner is Ashley McBride. Oh, yeah. That concert comes up in April, so certainly be listening for that. And then we also, Taylor, have tickets for people to go see Caitlin Clark at the Florida Forum Speaker Series.
We do. If you missed it, we chatted with the Florida Forum Speaker Series from Wolfson's Children's Hospital, which they're wanting to raise money to get the new the playground for Wolfson's Children's Hospital. But Caitlin Clark, I mean, everybody I think knows the name Caitlin Clark. So we will be giving away 2 tickets to go see her speak at the Florida Forum Speaker Series. So listen throughout the show. We have a buzzer beater. If you hear that Caitlin Clark buzzer beater, call in and you can win a couple tickets for that.
Sounds excellent. We'll let you hear from Liam Coen on the other side, as well as Tom's takeaways, and we just might have some tickets to give away. So keep it right here on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
This is Helmets and Heels.
Fought for you by Green Law Group on 1010XL.
Learn everything you need to know about the Jaguars on Duval Rundown. I'm Hayes Carlyon. Join me each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning at 9:04. You can find Duval Rundown on all the social channels of 1010XL.
Driven by Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside.
Are you trapped in a high-rate mortgage, watching your hard-earned money vanish every month? Stop right now. At Loan Pronto, they are delivering the lowest mortgage rates in 3 years. Hey, Prosser here. Loan Pronto's rate reduction home loan program is a streamlined, low-cost way to slash your house payments by hundreds of dollars a month. Lock in at a fixed rate as low as 4.99% APR and close in as little as 2 weeks. No appraisal needed in most cases. And here's the kicker. You can skip your next 2 house payments entirely. Don't wait. Rates this low won't last. Call Loan Pronto now for your free, no-obligation quote. Loan Pronto is amazing. So start now by calling 904-999-1508. That's 904-999-1508. Or visit loanpronto.com to lock in your new low rate and skip those next 2 payments. 999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval, NMLS, consumeraccess.org.
Crown Royal Friday
On Helmets and Heels.
Introducing the Jag Stack at Firehouse Subs. So bold, it's named after the home team. Stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, roast beef, provolone, fresh veggies, and the new Duval drizzle sauce. For a limited time at your local Firehouse Subs, there's only one hottest sub in Duval.
Chris Doring brings insider takes and Gator Gold to the drill. We're back. The former Gator joins Dan and Jeff Tuesday mornings at 7:20 on 1010XL. Protected by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein & Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
Strap in, Duval. The Jaguars are gearing up to face the Los Angeles Chargers Sunday, November 16th for our annual Salute to Service game. Join us as we honor and celebrate the brave men and women of our military all game long. Secure your seats now and be a part of the action by visiting jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. Let's stand together, Duval.
Did you know that for every inch of rain on a 2,000 square foot roof, 1,500 gallons come off the eaves of the roof? Call Clearwater Seamless Gutters and Drainage, and we'll design a plan using our Clearwater Seamless Gutters, and we'll connect those gutters to a Clearwater drainage system to solve your erosion and standing water issues.
Clearwater Seamless Gutters. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at gutters. And drainage, too.
SeamlessGuttersJacksonville.com.
Hey, Hicken here. Cooler weather right around the corner. So are you ready to float happy in the pool? Listen up. This month, Surfside Pools offering 10% on new pool heaters or heater replacements and installation. That's right. Now is the time to upgrade your pool heating system and extend that swimming season for months of extra enjoyment. Only from Surfside Pools, the trusted name for expert pool service. Family owned and operated. Call 246-2666 or visit surfsidepool.net.
License number CPC 044080.
Have you ever dreamed of owning a handcrafted cabin tucked into a 1,000-acre regenerative farm? Well, now you can. This is Frank Frangie for the farm in Okefenokee, just an hour north of Jacksonville in Folkston. With only 250 cabins at full build-out, it's a rare chance to live off-grid, but not alone, in a community grounded in nature, food, and purpose. The amenities include a 2,300-acre hunting lease. Learn more at okefarm.com. That's okefarm.com.
Come visit the best sports restaurant in town. That's Big Dogs in Orange Park, known for great burgers, huge wings, pizza, salads, and special nightly events like trivia and karaoke. You'll all love it at Big Dogs Restaurant in Orange Park.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focus, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Early Monday morning to Friday at 5, man, I work, go out and climb. Boss man, shove that overtime up his can. All I wanna do is put a drink in my hand.
That's right. Everybody on a Friday wants to put a drink in their hand. If you want to go see Eric Church, we've got a pair of tickets for you right now. Be caller number 4, 641-1010. Caller number 4, 904-641-1010. The concert comes up Friday, April 10th at ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Oh, nice is right. Ashley McBride will be the opening act. And, of course, if you haven't seen Eric Church before, I tell this to people all the time. Yes, he's in the genre of country, but he's kind of like Jason Aldean in the sense of he's far more rock.
Yeah.
Very, very artistic when he performs. Like, he'll do an acoustic set just by himself, but then he's also got the full band and the fantastic anthems. I love Eric Church. I've seen him multiple times.
Yeah, out of country, he's one of my guys. Aldean and him. I like Eric Church a lot.
He's one of the ones for me that I never heavily listen to. Like, I always like the song. So all the songs you'll play today, I'll be like, oh, yeah, this is Eric Church, and I like this song. But if somebody said name, like, 5 Eric Church songs, I wouldn't be able to. But if you play them, I'll say, oh, I love this.
I know who that is, yeah. Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah, he burst on the scene.
I like him a lot.
Early 2000s, I would say like 2007, somewhere in there. And then he certainly hasn't let up. He's a great guy when it comes to, I feel like, a really good songwriter. Like there's singers these days that maybe aren't the best at songwriting. They get a lot of help from their friends when it comes to songwriting. But I feel like lyrics still really matter to Eric Church. And so, like I said, we've got 3 pairs of tickets. So that first pair is now claimed, and we'll have 2 more pairs of tickets for you throughout the show, and also be listening for the buzzer beater so you can win the Caitlin Clark tickets as well. All right, let's hear from Liam Coen. He met with media this morning, 5:35 Eastern time, of course, over there in London, and he was asked about overthinking things and how he really doesn't want to do that since his team is playing against Rams head coach Sean McVay.
That's a great point, honestly. It's not ever about me and him. That's not what it's about. But when you can get into some of that, like, there was a play out at practice yesterday, and I'm like, they're not going to run it like that, and I'm like, wait, shut up. Just, doesn't matter. We all run plays, and so you can kind of get into that, like, well, they're not going to do that out of this, or maybe, they could do this out of that, and you start maybe overdoing some of the information, overcooking it. That's a great point. Honestly, that's something that has gone through my mind over the last probably 24 hours is like, man, they know so many things about our system. We know, obviously, a little bit about their system. Man, just let these guys go play. It's truly going to be about the execution, the energy, the focus, being able to just go play and execute at a high level and let these guys just go let it rip.
The great point, by the way, the question was by Demetrius Harvey of the Florida Times Union, who's over there, and basically was saying, like, how difficult is it to know this head coach so incredibly well? You spent 4 years with the Rams in totality, and so I think Liam said it best. Wait a minute, stop. They're not going to do it like that. Hold on, shut up.
Yeah.
Let Anthony Campanile do his thing. Let the offense, the scout team do their thing, and try not to overthink it.
That'll be the biggest chess match right there with McVay calling the shots and Campanile and what he's going to do. That I'm not worried about Liam figuring out their defense a little bit maybe with his play calling, but the other way around, you got to see this is a big test for Anthony and his play calling. We've seen him bring 6 at times. It has worked at times. I think teams have figured him out at times. They've picked up those blitzes at times, and the coverage has been off. Keep in mind, the scores even last week were busted. They shouldn't have happened. Even the deep throw to Njigba, that safety should have been there. He should have been in contesting that ball, And then the other one, Andrew again. Wingard missed. The tight end got behind him. He lost. He bit on the play fake. Those are just take away those 2 plays, you win the game. You know what I mean? So, but this is going to be a big test for our defense going against Matthew Stafford and McVay's offense.
Yeah, I think and that's what it feels like the NFL is at right now. I watched a whole segment yesterday, and it was Orlovsky and Mina Kimes and all them breaking down multiple different teams because they were like, who's good, who's bad, we don't know. And we've kind of had the similar conversation. But they went into in depth of different plays of how many blown coverages have happened throughout. And they're like, how different quarterbacks are labeled with them, though. Like some quarterbacks are like, oh, that was lucky. And then when Baker Mayfield gets a busted coverage and takes advantage of it and scores, it was like, oh, that was a great play by Baker Mayfield because he was reading whatever was happening. And so that's where the NFL is right now. And we're seeing so many close games because we have these matchups between whether it's offensive and defensive coordinators that are just the best at what they do, or they're familiar with each other, they've worked together before, they know tendencies, things like that, players moving around and stuff like that. So I do think it adds obviously an extra storyline, and I do think that's something that has to be, and Liam says, going through your mind at some point, but you do have to kind of push it away a little bit at a certain time and say, you just got to play ball. Like, you've been able to do this now. You can't think too much of, like, what is Sean McVay going to think, we're doing here or not think we're doing here or whatever. You have to play the game you've been playing because you're 4-2. Like, if you had a losing record, maybe you start to change things a little bit and say, hey, this hasn't been working. But at this point, for the most part, you've been winning football games.
Yeah, for me last week, Mike McDonald got the best of Liam Coen as far as the defensive play calling. Mike McDonald's team, I thought, had the advantage over Liam Cohen's offense. And I think Clint Kubiak had the advantage over Anthony Campanile as well. And yes, it was just a few big plays, but just a couple explosive plays. Exactly. If the Jaguars had a couple explosive plays, certainly things would have or could have been different. One more here from Liam Coen. He was asked about the most valuable lesson he's learned so far through 6 games as a head coach.
I think trusting your staff, trusting the people around you. We've got a really good coaching staff that I believe in, that have done a really nice job so far. We're learning more and more about each other every week, about us as coaches working together, and working with the players, and what works, what doesn't, how people respond, how we're coaching and teaching details every week, and you're constantly trying to evaluate that as a head coach, right? What's working, what's not, how's the communication between each other and the players, and I think they've done a really nice job of getting our guys prepared every week and bringing energy at practice every day. I think they've done a nice job with that, so just trusting the people around you and knowing that when you make decisions to hire people, be firm on those.
I think that's got to be one of the hardest parts about going from coordinator to head coach is delegating. For one, I hate delegating.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather just do it myself because I have a certain way that I like to do it. But that's not going to be a successful model in the NFL. You can't control everything. We talk about it, honestly, with Billy Napier in college football all the time. Yeah. If he had just let go one thing, he would have been better at everything else. And Liam Coen, I think, is certainly still figuring all this out because he's, of course, still calling these plays. Yeah. But I'm sure he's leaning on Grant Udinski a lot, the offensive coordinator, to help, too.
The best leaders know how to delegate, right? They know what their strengths and what their
weaknesses
I'm not a leader.
are.
Yeah. Right? No, you are. But I'm just saying, like, they know what they're – like, for Liam, he's an offensive guru, right? So he knows defense. Of course, he knows football, but he's going to trust Anthony Campanile to run that side of things, and he'll still overlook it, still make sure everything's the way he wants it. But at the end of the day, he's trusting him to do it. I think for the players, look, you just want someone that's genuine. You know what I mean? That you know what to expect every time you see them. That's all anybody really wants, I think, in any workplace, but especially in a locker room, or in the organization, within the building. You just want the same. You want to make sure that everything's genuine, that they really do give a crap about you. And when you get that, look, Liam's a very likable guy. You can tell. He's kind of got a little bit of everything. He's a little quirky. He's cool. You can tell he likes toughness. You can tell he might have been in a scrap or two in his life. You know what I mean? He's kind of he's a football guy. He's got a little bit of everything. And when you're genuine like that and transparent, and if he's communicating with the media the way he is, he's doing it with his team. And that's what all players want, man. Just up front, give it to me straight, and just make sure it's consistent. And I'll do whatever I need to do to make you happy.
Yeah, I'm also not good at being. I remember at Outback, I used to hate training because I was like, I'm annoyed now. I just want to do it myself. I can do it faster and quicker and better than you, and I can't do this. But yeah, I think when it comes to Liam Coen, you see it even during games, whenever they flash to him on the sideline, whether it's him talking to somebody, showing them something when they're going over a play that just, whether it was good or bad, you always see that communication. You can see how much the players respect him, because immediately that's the person they're walking up to of like what went wrong or what went right, or the celebration, they're hugging each other, and that's the type of thing you want to see. But I also I just respect his honesty, because we've gotten it from day one, and that hasn't gone away at all. And sometimes, especially after a loss like at Seattle, sometimes you'll start to not be as honest, and you haven't seen that from Liam Coen. He's been very upfront about himself, his personal tendencies, and also the things that have to get better on a team that's 4-2. And I know other people like Brian Kelly get mad when you ask about things that still need to be corrected when you're winning. So that's one of my favorite things about Liam Coen.
I agree as far as he hasn't gotten chippy with the media either. And I think maybe because the last coach, Doug Peterson, did, that's one thing too that I appreciate. It's not just the transparency, which that also is night and day from the previous regime. The fact that we get to go in the locker room after a win and after a loss and get to see everything, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, no, listen, when you're winning, everybody's happy for the most part. You know what I mean? And I know they haven't played their best football, which is great.
Sure. If they lose 4 straight, will there be a video from the locker room?
Let's wait and see what happens.
I'm not 100% sure. You're absolutely right on that. By the way,
turn the cameras
on. I'm not talking to anybody. Get the hell out of here.
One quick piece of news. Yesterday, Graham Hall, who covers the Florida Gators on a daily basis, he tweeted out that the Ben Hill Griffin Stadium renovations will begin April of 2027, the nearly $400 million project. Well, that was a clear indicator to me that the Jaguars will spend most of their home games then playing in Orlando. I know.
Yeah,
it's been between. I'm getting there.
Panic.
It's been between Gainesville and Orlando. That to me says it's going to be Orlando. It was most likely going to be Orlando, and everything I'd been hearing on the back channels was it was going to be Orlando. But that to me kind of confirmed it. The reason I mentioned London, that's in my head. The Jaguars can play up to 3 games in the 2027 season in London. So I would say that would be my expectation is for the here and now is they're going to play some games in Orlando.
And London, you think is what they would do?
I don't know. That's a good question. They could always kick off the season. Well, it's more college football to kick off the season and then take a bye. But in theory, they could kick off the season in London, take a bye. But you only get one bye in the NFL, so it's probably not
you could
do
now like they do bye weeks in week 5, so maybe play week 4 in London, have your bye, and then do 2 games later in the season.
Yeah, that'd be hard. Yeah, that sounds terrible. So I'm hopeful that maybe it's not 3 full games. Maybe it is just the 2, even though they have the option to play up to the 3.
Yeah.
But it sure feels like it's going to be Orlando with at least 1 to 2 games in London, maybe.
So
3.
what do you think? 55,000 fans go every week, no matter what, right? At home games. When you say 50,
losing seasons, I'd say more like 45,000.
45, say 45 to 50,000.
Yeah.
How many of those will travel to Orlando?
Probably
they're winning
25,000. No, if they're successful, more than that. But I would say probably 25,000.
And then you're hoping the people are in Orlando or
like, let's go to a football game.
Let's go to a Jaguar
But then you also, of course, have if you're playing the Steelers, if you're playing the Cowboys, if you're playing the Packers, if you're playing the 49ers, the Chiefs, like you're going to have an influx of those teams traveling. But also
Orlando's so easy to get
exactly those teams in the area. Yeah,
it makes sense.
Yeah, just wanted to mention that time now.
Also, you gain fans. We talk about gaining fans in London. London, but the amount of travelers that go to Orlando and are like, we can go to an NFL game and
Sure.
go to,
and there's a lot of international tourists in Orlando as well.
Yeah.
So maybe they come from London and then come over.
Oh, there you go.
Or Ireland or Scotland. All right, time now for Tom's takeaways.
Now.
Okay, it's go time.
Tommy's Takeaways. Jacked up by J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling. Call 506-1256 for your free estimate today. We are here for you. Veteran owned and operated.
All right, my takeaway today is centered around Liam Coen versus Sean McVay. I know Liam wants to, pass off like it's not a big deal, but
Yeah,
let's
that
be
soundbite
honest
didn't
here. Let's be honest here. This is student and this is a teacher. This is older brother and younger brother. And as the youngest brother of the McManus family, I remember vividly when the tide turned and I took over as the toughest brother in the household. And it was about 19 years of age. So it does matter. Liam wants to beat his teacher. He wants to beat it respectively. Of course, they care about each other, probably really love each other, want nothing but the best. But make no mistake about it. The takeaway is he wants this victory really bad. It's a season of first, and he wants to be the first, his victory over McVay to be the first one against McVay. So let's hope that happens. But that's my takeaway because I know firsthand it does matter. Brought to you by our good friends at J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling.
All right, we've talked about Anthony Campanile and Grant Udinsky. We'll let you hear from them on the other side. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Hey, Jacksonville, Rick Ballou here. Small business owners need trucks and vans to keep your business moving? Jacksonville Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram Westside has Ram 1500s to heavy-duty 2500s, ProMasters, and custom uplifts ready to work. Visit them on Commonwealth Avenue or go online to jackswest.com. Jacksonville Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram Westside, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local partner for work-ready vehicles.
Helmets and Heels. Crown Royal Friday.
Football season is all about hanging at home and watching the big ball games. Well, if your AC and heating unit is letting you down and keeping those electric bills sky high, think about getting a new energy-efficient AC unit from Florida Home AC. They've got great deals on replacements plus rebates and incentives to make it more affordable. Call Florida Home AC at 777-4300 and get their expert staff to take a look. Football season is all about fun and playing for the win. Make sure you have the winning team on your side with Florida Home AC.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Yo, you already know it's your main man E.T. And no one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, we have everything from tequila cocktails and an extensive bourbon category to top shelf spirits and cocktails, served over ice balls, local craft beers, and handcrafted whiskey cocktails. Rounded out with adventurous drink menus, second to none. And don't forget about our 29-degree drafts. Check them out now on Atlantic and Kernan. Twin Peaks, eat, drink, scenic views. Come on, somebody.
Hurricane season on the First Coast can leave you in the dark, so why not get a head start on storm season with a home generator system from American Electrical? They've sold and installed more generators in Jacksonville than any other company around, with scores of whole home generator installations throughout North Florida. That's right, American Electrical has been installing and repairing thousands of generators for over a decade in Duval. Keep your loved ones and property protected. Log on to american-electrical.com and see how they can help you.
Rollovers, head-on collisions, hit and runs, you name it, we've litigated it.
And while insurance companies joke about the mayhem that occurs on roadways, we've seen the real effects. Lost lives, catastrophic injury, cars crushed like soda cans. And trust us, there's nothing funny about it.
If you've been in a crash, count on our experienced attorneys to seek full justice and all the money your case is worth.
For a fairer fight, you know who to call. Farah and Farah, Jacksonville.
In a world where chains seem to take over, it's awesome to have a locally owned retailer who's only focused on Jacksonville. Beard's Diamonds is the perfect example. Hicken here. All those jewelers in Town Center are owned by big Wall Street companies, but Beard's Diamonds, they are local, man. Say hi to the Lupos when you get in there. They've been around and serving our area for more than 40 years. And Beard's runs circles around the big chains. Massive diamond inventory, Beard's. All the top bridal brands, Beard's. Strongest warranties, Beard's. Beard's wins on price every day. They don't have extra markups to please Wall Street or pay commission salespeople. In fact, Beard's guarantees to beat any national chain store on price. So don't buy anywhere until you at least get a second opinion at Beard's. I am sure you'll get a bigger, better quality diamond for your money. And it'll be backed by local folks with integrity and local accountability. Man, in a world where generic chain stores pop up everywhere, refreshing to see a local place that can give you a great diamond. Don't buy a diamond in Jacksonville without seeing your best option at Beard's Diamonds. Shop local, shop Beard's at the St. John's Town Center.
The Golf Club of Southampton has big plans for 2026, renewing the greens plus plenty more. But right now's the time to take advantage of member opportunities before the big renovation. Now until the end of December, you can join and save $1,500 off their initiation fee, plus $500 back in a gift card with a 12-month commitment. All the details are at golfsouthampton.com. Playability for every skill level and a huge practice area to hone your game. Lock in now and enjoy membership privileges at the Golf Club of Southampton.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
To this day, when I hear that song, I see you standing there on that lawn. Discount shades, store-bought tan, flip-flops and cut-off jeans.
Fun fact, this song is called Springsteen. Bruce Springsteen was the inspiration for Eric Church to play music and be a full-time musician. Saw him in concert one time and was like, I want to do that. I want to be that. And obviously now a very successful country musician.
Bruce was my first concert.
Was he?
1984 in Soldier Field.
Okay.
And it was general admission, so it was like you had to run to your spot on the field. And me and my best friend, Brendan Kelly, we stood there for like 3.5 hours. It was absolutely incredible.
Wow.
He was insane.
He performs always over 3 hours, right?
Yeah,
Bruce
yeah,
does.
he
That's
was
wild.
incredible. And then the movie about him's out.
Yeah.
With that really good actor. I don't have his name, but I know he's really,
I don't know his name either, but I've
he was
seen
the
lots
Bear,
of previews.
right? He had the Bear series with a cook where he's a cook.
Sure.
No.
I'm the worst person to
It's
ask
Lip
about
and
that stuff.
Shameless.
Yeah, Shameless. Yeah, he's a really good actor. So that'll be interesting. I still listen to Bruce.
Yeah.
He's got some good tunes.
The answer is Jeremy Allen.
Yeah,
White.
yeah, yeah.
That's it.
I always forget his full. I just call him Lip because that's what
Lip,
I knew
right,
him for.
Yeah.
All right, Archie's going to kill me if I don't say
So
call
kill
number
her.
2. It's 641-1010.
He's shaking
Call
his
number
head.
2, 904-641-1010. Because, the phones, the moment that they hear Eric Church, the phones light up and Archie's like, I'm trying to give these away. You're not letting me. But
Is Bruce Springsteen what got Frank to do his Christmas album too? Is that what inspired him?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. Either Bruce Springsteen or like a Bing Crosby or something like that. I believe that Frank has seen Bruce over 30 times.
Oh,
Is that
wow.
right?
Yeah.
It's definitely well over 15, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
But we'd have to ask. I know he's out enjoying London and certainly the scenes going on there. All right, let's get it to Jaguars defensive coordinator Anthony Campanile. RJ, by the way, is also going to kill me because he's now trying to take the winner's information and also play the defensive coordinator's comments. But he was asked about, and I thought this was super interesting. He was asked how to dial up pressure against a veteran quarterback as a defensive play caller. And I feel like this question is kind of twofold. One, you played a veteran quarterback last week in Sam Darnold, who kind of tore you apart at times. And then you have the ultimate veteran quarterback pretty much in Matthew Stafford, who's won a Super Bowl. So here's Anthony Campanile on that.
Yeah, there's a fair amount that goes into that. We probably pressure that may not even have shown up a little bit more on some of those early downs, whether we were firing other guys in there. But I think there is always a little bit of a chess game with that, with the guys who really do a great job evaluating pre-snap, and do some good pre-snap indication stuff, which I think the Rams do a great job of as well. But yeah, there's always a cat and mouse with that for sure. Hopefully I'm answering your question.
He also, by the way,
Coach Campanile.
No, yeah, sorry, but yeah, definitely. I thought the guys did a good job with that as the game progressed on. With getting pressure as we were sending more pressure to help the pass rush and stop some of the runs in there.
slight blip in the audio between London across the pond, of course, and here. Look, I think Coach Camp sounds like he's been screaming at his defense all week, is what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, I mean, listen, look, it's got to be so frustrating. You stop the run and you get off the field on third down, yet you can't get it done on a few plays. That's got to be very frustrating for a coach. Look, and if you don't think the Rams are going to try that route, and that route tree with the tight end and the deep threat over the middle when they're in cover 4, you're mistaken. They're gonna look for that. They're gonna high-low the safety, and they're gonna go deep again. And if that corner has outside leverage, and the safety's not there, it's gonna be another long gain or a touchdown.
Would Dewey start for you, by the way, this week again?
Yeah, he would. He would. I don't know. You could go Antonio Johnson, maybe. He brings you a little bit more athletic ability and speed and that type of thing. But look, I don't know what happened with the secondary last week. I don't know what happened with Dewey. He just was not on his game. He's got to be. He's the one they really count on. And look, in his defense, it's easy to take a step up on play action, especially if you feel like they're going to run. But you got to be patient. You got to see that guy coming. Like you're looking at your guy, which is number 2, but you got to see in Jigba running full speed. Like you got to see it. Even if you got to look over there for a split second. So that's his job, and he's got to do a better job. And then the one with the tight end, they all bid on the fake. It's hard, but especially when you're in man, you have to be really patient, because if you bite on that fake and that tight end slips out and you have them all over the field, you better have great makeup speed, which I did not, so I tried not to do that.
I guess I always thought that's not going to be Dewey's issue, right? Because he has the high football IQ. He may not be the fastest necessarily, but I didn't think that we would see multiple times him not being patient.
In his defense, remember Liam called it a quarter buster.
Mm-hmm. Quarter beater, yeah.
A quarter beater. Quarter beater.
Quarter buster, I think
Brown.
Quarter buster, I think you order from Burger King.
So, like we were talking with Bees earlier in the week, that safety has number 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
If number 2 comes vertical, or his reads off number 2, if number 2 comes vertical, he takes him the whole way. Vertical is what you got to figure out. When is it vertical? Because a 10-yard out route is not vertical. A 12 to 15-yard 7 route is vertical. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then you got your new cornerback who's playing outside leverage. He's looking inside like, he can help me, he can help me, he can help me. And then next thing you know, it's too late. I got to try to catch up to this guy, and it never happens. So it's...
Yeah, maybe don't play Greg Newsome in that game.
Well, it happened to Tyson. It was
did,
the same
but
kind of play.
It was
the same kind of play. So
yeah,
it feels like maybe getting off the plane on a Friday and putting him in that situation on a Sunday.
Here's a way to maybe combat it. Mm-hmm. Don't play off coverage with the corner. Mm-hmm. Get up on him, and then maybe dictate that route a little bit better. Maybe that wrinkle will happen.
Yeah.
Because he knows, he's smart, and he knows they're going to keep trying it. Remember last year, and I hate to bring it up, but remember they always did the high crossover and that backside safety. They would high-low him. He would always jump up, and they'd hit it right behind him. And you're like, how many times is that going to happen before you make a change, right?
Right.
So
you're right. I blame Greg Newsome, and Dewey, but however, it did happen when Tyson Campbell had been here for years.
Yeah.
And so there's a communication issue once again.
Right.
And that's what, honestly, the defense didn't play to the standard we want, but they also forced 4 straight punts at the end of the game and the end of the third and the fourth quarter. And they forced Seattle. I mean, they only gave up 20 points to Seattle, who had scored like 38 and 40 in the games before, and held them to 1 and 12 on third downs. Like, offense, feel free to help at any point, because this defense has had multiple turnovers and touchdowns and everything that they could do for you. Feel free to help at some point this year.
Yeah, the reason I said it, I think he was screaming at his defense is just he sounded so hoarse, not because the defense was the full reason.
That's why I sound like a robot.
No, but you have to. You don't have to scream, but I could see him screaming on those just 2 plays.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like, guys, come on, we've been through this. Like, this is what we do when this happens. And if it's man, don't take your eye off your man. Just stick to your man. It's just little things.
It's so funny. I feel like the defense gets screamed at, and the offense almost has to be coddled, right?
Not the O-line.
Not the O-line.
They get screamed at.
Yeah, the quarterback and the receivers that are divas, right? Like, we have to bring them along. Like, here, I'm not going to scream at you in front of everyone. I want you.
Maybe in today's game they were screaming way back when, I think, but. I get what you're saying, but it does seem like the defensive guys always have that gruff kind of voice.
That's what I think. All right, let's hear one from Grant Udinsky, the offensive coordinator, on what makes Rams outside linebacker Byron Young such an effective pass rusher.
There's a lot of things. The thing that makes really all of those guys up front such good pass rushers is they have such balanced attacks rushing. They can get off the ball, they can use speed, they can use power, they're great with their hands. So they really have a really wide toolbox and a variety of moves that can attack guys up front. Then you add in the twist games that they have off of that, whether they're rushing one-on-one themselves or working with each other, they're well coordinated in their rushes. So it makes it difficult to manage in a one-on-one matchup, but then you add in the layer of there's picks, there's twists, they're lined up in different spots. That makes it difficult from a team perspective of trying to attack them in protection.
So O-line, you got to be better than you were against the Seahawks.
Well, and how did they do it last week, right? They did that tight end, TE stunt, as they call it. The tackle hits the inside of Walker Little, and then the end loops inside, and then keep going. The tackle keeps going, and it was very, very effective. They're going to see that. They're going to absolutely see that until you can stop it. And like I've said, that's a weak link in the left tackle position for us. Walker's inside has been susceptible to weakness all throughout camp. I mean, that's Trayvon, every time he beat him, wasn't around him. It was faking outside, coming underneath, and just blasting through that inside part of his body. So they're going to definitely do that. And I'd like to see us do some of that. You know what I mean? On our defensive line, because the way to beat Stafford is you got to move them. And moving them isn't going to be just getting them from the outside. All he's going to do is move up. You got to move them out of the middle of that pocket. So how do you do that? My interior guys, my blitz has got to come from B gap to B gap, maybe a little bit of the C, but really just conveying and getting in front of that guy. So you got to get him to move in order for him to get off his mark, because just moving him up in the pocket's not going to do anything. He'll complete every pass that he throws for the most part, but you got to make sure that that pocket is collapsing. We haven't seen enough of a collapsing pocket for our Jaguar defensive line at all.
Yeah, what the Seahawks did to Trevor Lawrence, the Jaguars have to do that to Matthew Stafford.
Correct.
All right, Taylor's tangent is on the other side. I wonder if it has anything to do with last night's Thursday night football game. We shall see. It's 1010XL 92.5 FM.
From the Queen Law Group Studio,
Helmets and Heels.
1010XL is your home for play-by-play of Bishop Kenny football.
After 2 road wins, the Crusaders defend their home turf against the Buccaneers. Bishop Kenny First Coast, Friday at 7 on 1010XL.
Rotator cuff injuries are common among athletes and those who have physically demanding careers. Don't let this injury keep you away from the sport you love. Dr. George Barry here, and the first thing you need to do with a serious shoulder injury is to diagnose where the damage is and how significant it is. Rotator cuff tears are either acute tears sustained during an injury or accident, or degenerative tears. If you're interested in learning more about rotator cuff repair and how our expert team of orthopedic surgeons can help you, call Barry Orthopedics today or visit barryorthopedics.com.
Hey, life can get a little hectic at times, and no one has time to get hurt. Lost wages, injuries that not only hurt, but ones that hinder our success. If you're in this position due to the negligence of another, you deserve to be paid. Hey, what up, Jayville? This is Tommy Mack here. Injuries suck, I know that. And if you get injured out there, check out Morgan & Morgan, the largest personal injury law firm in the country. 100 offices with over 1,000 lawyers. Enough firepower to handle any and all of your personal injury cases that you may be dealing with. They make filing the claim easy, and they don't get paid unless you do. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Visit forthepeople.com or hit pound law from your cell. Pound law, that's all.
Helmets and Heels.
Crown Royal Friday.
Come visit the best sports restaurant in town. That's Big Dogs in Orange Park, known for great burgers, huge wings, pizza, salads, and special nightly events like trivia and karaoke. You'll all love it at Big Dogs Restaurant in Orange Park.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On October 17, 1989, a 6.9 magnitude earthquake rattled the Bay Area before the start of Game 3 of the World Series at Candlestick Park in San Francisco.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I just got back from the farm at Okefenokee. Man, it's incredible. Just an hour north of Jacksonville and Folkestone. I was so impressed. It's about connecting with nature, with food, with community. And now you can own your very own handcrafted cabin tucked into a 1,000-acre regenerative farm. Everything you need is there. You'll hardly need to go grocery shopping. Learn more about all of it at okiefarm.com. That's OKE farm.com, the farm at Okefenokee.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
Winter and spring registration is already cranking up at I-9 Sports, and if you have kids ages 3 to 17, I-9 Sports is inviting you to get them on the field or in the gym with great sports like girls flag football. Plenty of places to play like Oakley, Fleming Island, UNF, Fletcher, and Creekside. Log on to i9sports.com and see all the sports they have to offer across the First Coast. In Duval, Clay, and St. John's. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount. Registration open right now for winter and spring sports at i9sports.com.
The best value for golf in Jacksonville remains Cimarron. Totally reestablished with new tee boxes, improved fairways and greens. Also a brand new restaurant with indoor and outdoor settings and live music. Join the Wild One loyalty program online at Cimarron Golf. When's the last time you played Cimarron? Cimarron Golf Club on 210, the Wild One.
Grab your cowboy hat for the Beach Barbecue Bash presented by Sunshine State Plumbing and Reliable Ducks. Thursday, October 30th. Live music, sizzling barbecue, and Southern Charm supporting Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida. Get tickets at bgcnf.org.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Want to grow your hair back?
IHRS, right here in Jacksonville, is the only hair transplant clinic in the Southeast to offer multi-unit hair grafting and the 45-minute PRP treatments. Grow your hair back. Call now for a free in-person evaluation. 904-777-IHRS. 904-777-4477 or visit hairforme.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
No, this is not Eric Church. This is Queen. So do not call and try to win Eric Church tickets right now. We will have more of those for you later. But right now, Taylor Dahl has a tangent.
Now, Taylor's Tangent, served up by Chick-fil-A on 1010XL.
We had a pretty fun game last night.
We did. The Icy Bowl.
Yes.
Or Icy Hot Bowl.
Some people were calling it the geriatric bowl.
Yeah, Tom and I take offense to that because both of those guys are younger than us.
But yeah, 33-31 Bengals over Steelers. It was funny because I was having a conversation yesterday about trap games and that trap game word, and I was like, I feel like this might be a trap game for Pittsburgh, honestly. And then last night I was like, oh, like Flacco. But I feel like Flacco does that every now and then. As soon as you think Flacco's like career is done, he has a game like this where you're like, never mind, there's still something in there. But I have
if you are Flacco, you're like, thank you, Browns.
Yes.
For giving me Jamar Chase.
No doubt.
I'm going to target him over 20 times in every single game. And he's going to catch it 16 times.
Yeah. Jake Browning, maybe just throw the ball to Jamar Chase when you're on the team.
Right.
Or I saw somebody said, I found the recipe to winning quarterback, and then it just said, Chapter 1, leave Cleveland.
Valid.
Like, okay.
That's great.
But I have a little clip in dedication to last night. So, RJ, roll that first.
Now, Ron, where are you? Where is Ron right now?
Oh, don't tackle me. Come on.
Celebration
Too old for that.
was short-lived.
Here? Oh, man. Why didn't you answer me the first time I said it? Huh?
Snap good. Hold good. Kick good. What a night.
I'm just asking, I said it like 4 times. So why didn't you say it the first time I said Ron? Because it's pronounced Aaron? Son of a...
A little petty towards Aaron Rodgers losing on primetime football to the Bengals. But it was. Did you see the clip where he got tackled by the player? He got so angry.
He did.
But
love
honestly,
a
it
mad
looked like he was
Get
hurt
off
for
me,
a
man.
second, and then he got up and he was like, "What are you doing? Get off of me!"
Can you
I thought
imagine if that was
hilarious.
like another torn something?
Oh my, tore something.
for
And he like everybody was like, "Don't do that to anybody." Anyways, like don't tackle the guy, your player. But I think the guy was just trying to like jump on his shoulders and like celebrate. But Aaron's old, so his knees collapsed.
Yeah, exactly.
He is an older quarterback. Yeah, look, I think
And
Not
Jalen
as
Ramsey
pliable.
got burned all night by Jamar Chase.
he did.
That was,
so much
Yeah, he
fun.
did.
The Hail Mary that Aaron Rodgers threw at the end, I love seeing how far that ball can go.
Yeah,
Like
that was almost 70 yards.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And again, yes, he's not a
He's
young,
done that so many
spry
times.
athlete,
Yep.
but yeah, he certainly has. It was fun, and I feel like even though two different quarterbacks, Jake Browning beat the Jaguars when the teams played earlier this season. That was obviously Joe Flacco, who's won a Super Bowl, but it makes the Jaguars' loss to the Bengals at least look a little bit better because the Bengals have beat the Steelers. Again, it's not an exact science because it was a different quarterback, but still.
Yeah, they have Aaron Rodgers, by the way, has 4 successful Hail Marys in his career. In 2015, the Motown Miracle, they called it, against the Lions. 2016, and the NFC Wildcard Playoff pass against the Giants. 2017 against the Cardinals, and then 2020 to Alan Lazard in that game. And so that's one of the things. If Aaron Rodgers has the ball in final seconds and is throwing a Hail Mary, it's scary. But the defender played it perfectly. The way he batted it down, I was like, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, and I know that
Hail Mary.
gave you PTSD from a season last season, although the Bears just beat the Commanders, obviously, this past weekend.
Didn't Flacco tear us apart last year? With the
Yes.
Browns?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, it wasn't a high score necessarily. I
No,
want to
but
say
he
the Jags
killed
was.
us in the passing
But-
game, didn't he?
Yeah.
A lot of teams did last
Good for
year.
him. I mean,
it was
good
like
for
4
him.
straight backup quarterbacks the Jags lost
was.
to, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure. So
Yeah.
I love
I-
what he said at the end about his family. He's like, I can't wait to talk to my family and
How
get
many-
their excitement.
Carissa Thompson rattled through his kids' names. I was like, that's a lot of kids. I know it's nothing in comparison to Philip Rivers.
Phil, yeah. Phil's still making babies.
But yeah, probably. Tom, I texted Taylor earlier today and I said, if your tangent doesn't include a mad Aaron Rodgers, then I don't know you anymore.
That's right.
I was like, good idea. We'll
I
do it.
still know her quite well. All right, we've got lunch to give away.
We do. Free lunch to Chick-fil-A. Give us a call at 641-1010. Let's say caller number 2. You get free lunch to Chick-fil-A.
So we still have a pair of tickets to give away to see Eric Church.
We do.
Still have the Caitlin Clark tickets to give away.
Listen
and
for
we
that
just-
buzzer beater
That's
and
right.
call right when you hear it.
And again, that benefits the women's board that helps the Wolfson Children's Hospital. They want an outdoor area for their behavioral health. So we are trying to help them get that. So get your tickets if you haven't already and you don't win them to see Caitlin Clark October 29th, again, for the Florida Forum. And we will be back with Lawrence Lane. It's 1010XL and 82.5 FM.
Helmets and heels.
From the Green Law Group Studios.
Wingstop and 1010XL has the ultimate tailgate for you to win. Leon Searcy here, your lemon pepper guy. Go to 1010XL.com to register to win a 100-piece wing party complete with fries, veggie sticks, and dips.
It's holiday season and it's not too late to find the perfect spot to celebrate with your team. Fourscore is a place that brings the energy, where great food, craft drinks, and unreal vibes meet cutting-edge full-swing simulators. Don't play golf? Do not worry. With over 40 interactive games, Fourscore has something that everyone will enjoy. Perfect for company outings, birthdays, and even private events that go beyond the ordinary. With locations in historic San Marco and centrally located Gate Parkway, Fourscore is ready to make your next celebration unforgettable. Hit the easy button and book your event today at fourscoregolf.com.
Hey guys, Taylor Doll here of Helmets and Heels. Chick-fil-A has something brand new on the menu, and it's only here for a limited time. Introducing the Pretzel Cheddar Club. This sandwich comes on a warm, buttery pretzel bun, a slice of cheddar cheese topped with 3 strips of Applewood smoked bacon, fresh lettuce, and tomato. And the kicker, a creamy Dijon mustard sauce on the side that takes this sandwich to the next level. Try it grilled, spicy, or the original Chick-fil-A chicken. Don't wait. It's only here for a short time, so stop by your Jacksonville Chick-fil-A locations and try the Pretzel Cheddar Club today.
Crown Royal Friday on Helmets and Heels.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple of years ago. Went smooth as silk. Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. Was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
You'll get your weekly dose of Miami football on the Hurricane Report.
From South Beach to Jacks Beach, stay on A1A for the latest from Miami on the Hurricane Report.
Proudly protected by Performance Painting on 1010XL.
You deserve something truly exceptional, and that's what you get from Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust's 10th Anniversary Jubilee. Come to Tobacco Cove on Saturday, October 18th from 1 to 4 p.m. because you will not want to miss this. From the mind of Steve Saka, Dunbarton offers the taste of perfection. This event features amazing cigars, delightful food, and awesome prizes. Tobacco Cove, 3849 Bay Meadows Road. More than a cigar store, it's an experience.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Did you know that basketball and volleyball were invented at the YMCA? That's right, and even today, the Y continues to lead the way in youth sports programming, from toddlers just starting out to teens ready to compete. The Y offers skill development, recreational play, and competitive leagues, all in a fun, supportive environment. Get your child in the game to build character and skills at the Y. Registration is now open for youth volleyball and soccer at fcymca.org.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Frank Frangie for Lee and Kate's Glass, still family owned and in business for 100 years. When they say you're going to see a big difference, that's for everything. Custom showers and spas, tabletops, mirrors, even replacing foggy windows, all at a more affordable price. And with your satisfaction absolutely guaranteed, Lee and Kate's Glass is your best choice. Visit leeandkatesglass.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Fall is here. The air is crisp. Football is on, and the perfect backyard atmosphere starts with a high-quality fireplace from CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Hey, it's Joe C. Imagine nights by the fire, cheering on your team, surrounded by friends and family. CSS can transform your outdoor space into the ultimate game day destination. Stylish, warm, and built for memories. With several wood, gas, and electric options, let CSS make your backyard the best seat in the house. Visit cssfireplaces.com.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. It's week 8 of the college football season with action all over the Sunshine State. Starting at 4:15 tomorrow, the Gators host Mississippi State for homecoming with the broadcast right here on 92.5 FM. The Gators will wear 1960s throwback uniforms. In South Florida, the Miami Hurricanes host Louisville at 7 o'clock. And then at 10:30, Florida State will be at Stanford for some ACC action. It's 78 degrees at 3:02. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It was the summer before the real world started, and the deal was we would get to go if we cleaned it up and got it running. That is old Winnebago.
I want someone to gift me a Winnebago for a weekend. We don't own an RV, but it would be so fun to just take a Winnebago and go for the weekend. They're obviously going to Talladega.
Oh, yeah.
That's the name of this Eric Church song. And our final pair of tickets to give away. Call number 4-641-1010. Call number 4-641-1010. In honor of the show being in the 4th month of the year, that would be April 10th. That was a Friday coming up 2026. ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena. The tickets are on sale, so if you didn't win any of them, you can buy them at Ticketmaster.com right here, right now. Ashley McBride will be the opening act. But yeah, I just think that sounds like a lot of fun.
I
would
didn't know
love
what
to
a Winnebago was until just now.
Really?
I
Okay.
always wondered when listening to that song, like, what is he talking about?
Yeah, I
Now
think
it
it's
makes way more
brands
sense.
of
Yeah.
RV.
I googled it.
Right.
It's a nice
Okay, yeah.
RV. I'll take one of those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
And I just need it for the weekend. I don't have
no
space at
forever.
home to store it by any means, but
I've
yeah.
traveled in RV a few times. It's fun.
We took
Like
one-
how far?
To Dallas once,
Oh,
and
wow.
to Indianapolis another time. Both Super Bowl runs.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
Been to Gainesville. My buddy Robbie. Now he's got like a bus. Like it's like
Like an old school.
Mac Daddy.
Oh,
no,
the
new.
opposite of a bus.
Yeah,
tour bus.
yeah,
Yeah.
like a tour
Like a tour
bus.
bus.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I'm
to
thinking
the bone.
school bus. You're thinking $200,000 or more.
Or more, yeah. I don't know what it is.
We
but
did
it's
one
beautiful.
time when my parents and my mom's best friends, we took my parents' best friends. We took a 1-800 rent a RV, so it was splashed all over it to Tallahassee for Florida State.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. We got a great parking spot and,
Yeah.
and tailgated with all the really expensive RVs.
You know what really is I mean, that's a great time, obviously, when you get there like Friday or Saturday, you stay
was a
for the
blast.
weekend. We went with our friends Robbie, Jennifer, who have the bus. They Country Thunder in Kissimmee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That doing that, we woke up
That's right
one
up my
morning.
alley.
We woke up one morning. It was like 8:30. We're having coffee, and Jason Aldean's warming up.
Oh.
And you can hear him clear as day. And we're just, this is
This
too
is a-
cool.
yeah, that's a good
That's when you
experience.
that's fun.
yeah.
Like wake
Yeah.
up in the RV and get
I mean,
up
that's what people
early
do every year, obviously, for RV City here
Yeah,
in
oh,
Jacksonville,
yeah.
Florida,
I've
Georgia. They
stayed
roll
there
in
a
on
few
Wednesday
times.
at
Yeah.
the same day that we'll be heading to Vegas,
That's
as
right.
it turns out this year. Yeah, we had so many people in this RV that, like, we just kept coming out of it, and
Yeah.
everybody
People
else
are like,
is
"How
just
many
like,
people?"
well, I know, it's just a couple in their very expensive
Yeah.
RV, but
This will be my first RV city I missed with Robbie. It's just that we've been going to the same spot for like 10 years.
we'll have to FaceTime.
So much fun.
FaceTime
It's
from
a good
Circa.
time if you've never been.
Oh yeah,
Friday
it's
night
an absolute
is
blast.
absolutely
I've-
insane.
I've been honored to
So
be a
much fun.
judge. They have a Halloween contest down in RV City, and then they also have spirit contests. And so I got to be a judge a couple different times and head
it's
down
fun,
there and get to be the person who decides who has the most spirit as far as Florida and Georgia,
Yep.
and then the most Halloween spirit. It's a whole wide world down
It
there.
is. It's cool.
I agree. It's
Yeah.
fun. And
It's like Mardi Gras a little bit.
correct.
Feels
yeah.
a little bit like
but
Mardi
with
Gras.
football, which is
Yeah,
even
with
better.
football, yeah.
All right, time now for Lauren's Lane.
Now, Lawrence Lane, driven by Mazda at the Avenues. This is luxury. This is Mazda at the Avenues.
All right, I've got several college football stats for y'all before we get to our picks in the next segment. So, as everyone knows by now, Kurt Signetti.
Did you forget?
Yes.
Did you forget?
I
to-
wrote him down. I gotta go.
Kurt Signetti is now the
Yes.
third highest paid college football coach in all the land. $11.6 million per deal, and an 8-year deal is what he ends up getting. So unbelievable what he's done at Indiana. And of course, a lot of people wondered if maybe he would leave Indiana for Florida. That is not going to happen.
Nope.
And yes, Florida still has its head football coach in place. In the last 55 years, Ole Miss has had 4 top 12 finishes in the final AP poll. 4 top 12 in the last 55 years. Speaking of potentially the next Florida coach, Lane Kiffin is responsible for 3
Wow.
of those top
Okay.
12 finishes. So certainly people last
Lane would
year,
be great at
yeah,
Florida.
people thought the
Yes.
Lane train was inevitable a season ago,
Yeah.
and then Billy Napier's team beat Lane Kiffin's team, and then that was put on pause. But certainly now, people in Gainesville would absolutely love
Yep.
for Lane Kiffin to be the coach.
No doubt.
He loved Steve Spurrier and the way that Spurrier was offensively and his play calling, but also his sass and attitude.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so Lane is obviously very much like that. So yeah, a lot of Gator fans would love
would-
Lane Kiffin.
And I would love just being somebody who covers the Florida Gators. Covering Lane Kiffin would be so much fun. Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
Absolutely.
Slightly more fun than Billy Napier is what
yes.
you're saying as far as press
And
conferences
back,
go.
look, back to Indiana real quick.
Yeah.
Kudos to them for stepping up, man, and not letting someone come
Absolutely.
in and steal your
Take 'em
coach.
away, yeah.
He'll be the next Lee Corso, you know what I mean? Build the dynasty. Why not? You got the money. They're going to be in on the NIL. You're part of the Big Ten. They make a ton of money every year, so good for you, man. That's fantastic.
Indiana's no longer a basketball school, whereas Florida is a basketball
Yeah,
school.
they
Things have
swapped
drastically
there.
changed. All right, some more stats for y'all. Miami's head coach Mario Cristobal is 4-8 in November while leading the Hurricanes. Obviously, Miami fans are concerned because both in 2023 and in 2024, they did not have very good finishes to those seasons. Miami is 4-10 after Halloween under Cristobal. So in addition to that November stat, and tonight playing host to Louisville, the line is certainly 12.5. Miami's favored by 13.5, somewhere in there. I feel like Carson Beck and company will get it done, but Louisville and Jeff Brom, I feel like they always at least make you nervous.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I could see I think Miami will win this
I do
pretty
too.
easily towards the end, but I could see it to where there is some in that first half.
Some
Miami
nerves,
fans or other people watching are like, "Oh, could this be an upset?" But I just feel like Miami has so much talent right now, and
especially in the trenches too.
Yeah,
The offensive
they're
line, the
dominating,
defensive
and that
line.
was, last year the defense was bad, and
Mhm.
so it
they
was
let
kind
Cam Ward down time after time.
Yeah, and like Cam Ward would have like 500 yards and 4 touchdowns and 5 touchdowns, and they'd end up losing because the defense would lose in that October stretch where they were losing some of those games. But yeah, I can't imagine a game. And Stanford's bad. Like it's not like it's one of the teams. Well, that's Louisville this weekend and then Stanford. But that one
FSU
definitely
gets
can
Stanford
happen.
this
Yeah.
weekend.
But Louisville, I guess it's just one of the things where that would be massive, and I'm in a weird spot because I would love Miami to lose personally, but at the same time it would hurt Notre Dame, so I actually can't cheer for that. So I'm like, dang it,
Yeah.
Miami, I guess.
There's still so much season left.
So Jeff Brom was Louisville's quarterback when we played them in like 91, 92.
Okay.
At BC. Louisville's just, it's funny. They're just like a tough out, it feels like. You know what I mean? Like they're just going to be competitive. A couple years they may do really well in the ACC.
I mean, they had Teddy Bridgewater. They had Lamar Jackson.
Oh, yeah, for
They've had
sure.
some stunning
For
quarterbacks.
sure. Not an easy out, but I agree with you, especially Miami's D-line. They're just
They're
incredible,
nasty.
man.
Absolutely.
They belong in the NFL right now.
As far as the Heisman odds are concerned, Miami's Carson Beck is the favorite, followed closely by Alabama's Ty Simpson and then Indiana's Fernando Mendoza.
Okay.
Obviously, those
Yep.
are all quarterbacks. They have an implied probability of the three of them combined to win 67.7% chance
Okay.
to win the Heisman. I'll throw in kind of a Heisman, maybe not sleeper, but another guy to pay attention to. Georgia Tech's Haynes King. His dual threat ability is...
Yep.
Get this, 65% of Georgia Tech's offense.
Whoa.
Unbelievable. He leads the Yellow Jackets in passing, rush yards, and has accounted for 13 touchdowns, including
I think he has
9
almost
rushing
500
touchdowns.
rushing yards.
That's
It's
impressive.
insane.
And I read Matt Hayes wrote a great article about Haynes King. So for all the Georgia Tech fans out there, certainly pay attention to this. Or if you're a Duke fan, that's who Georgia Tech faces this weekend.
That game will be interesting, actually.
Yeah. So Haynes King's dad, John King, was his high school coach. And his dad did not want anyone to think that it was nepotism as to why his son was getting the start. And so his dad was incredibly hard on him. And even when he's gone through injuries, his dad would call him a wuss and things like that. And his dad actually said to Matt, I didn't use that word. I used the worst word. But he's been, the one that I hate. But he's been told time and time again, like, you're not good enough. And really, he's gone through a ton of injuries, too. Obviously, it didn't work out at Texas A&M. He landed with Brent Key at Georgia Tech. And so, to me, I think he is a name to watch as far as the Heisman. And then I finally have a fun fact for y'all before we get to our picks. Chris Winkie is the assistant head coach / co-offensive coordinator / quarterbacks coach at Georgia Tech. I did not realize that until Matt Hayes' article. And Charlie Strong is the defensive line coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who is coaching one Desmond Watson.
Wow.
It all comes full circle.
I love that.
All right, we got to make our picks. On the other side, you are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels.
Backed by Green Law Group.
For the insured.
Fighting for you.
The guy you don't want to be busy during the game doesn't wear a helmet.
You gotta fix me.
Keep the team doctor on the sideline.
Listen for the Barra and Farah Injury Update.
Jacksonville.
On 1010XL, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars.
Hey Jacksonville, Rick Ballou here. Looking for a brand new truck? Right now, Crew Cab Ram trucks start at just $38,900 at Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram West Side. And every new retail purchase comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty and no extra cost. From tough Ram trucks to adventure ready Jeeps, they've got the perfect ride waiting for you. Stop by Commonwealth Avenue or shop online at jackswest.com. Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram West Side, proud partner of the Jaguars.
It's a Crown Royal Friday on Helmets and Heels.
This is Josh Woolsey with Woolsey Morecambe. When deciding what lawyer to trust with your car accident or injury case, the most reliable way is reviews and results. You want to be treated well, and you want a great result. Woolsey Morecambe's reviews speak for themselves, and I challenge any firm to compare results. We offer the resources of a large law firm and the customer service of a boutique practice. If you want to be treated right and want great results, call Woolsey Morecambe at 1-800-WOOLSEY and take the fear out of the fight. Offices, Jacksonville.
Put the ball in the net with 60 minutes of soccer talk. The Coaches Show presented by Sporting Jacks. Cole Pepper, Sporting Jacks head of soccer Mark Warburton, and Sporting Jacks women's coach Stacey Baylor. Tuesday evenings at 6 on 1010 a.m.
Craving tacos? Take advantage of the amazing lunch specials at One Night Taco Stand. Get bold flavors and bang for your buck with the Taco Trio. Choose any 3 tacos for just $10.99. If you're looking for a Taco Tuesday special every day, then look no further than One Night Taco Stand. 3 Jacksonville locations: Mandarin, Orange Park, and Southside at Bay Meadows.
Poker players, the World Poker Tour is back at Best Bet Jacksonville, October 30th to November 18th, and the guarantees are massive. Event 1 brings a $200,000 guarantee. Event 6 has a $300,000 guarantee, and the main event has an enormous $1 million guarantee. With 14 tournaments, your chances of winning big have never been better. Want in on the action? WPT satellites are already playing out. Don't get left out. Head to bestbetjacks.com for details. That's bestbetjacks.com.
The Golf Club of Southampton has big plans for 2026, renewing the greens plus plenty more. But right now's the time to take advantage of member opportunities before the big renovation. Now until the end of December, you can join and save $1,500 off their initiation fee, plus $500 back in a gift card with a 12-month commitment. All the details are at golfsouthampton.com. Playability for every skill level and a huge practice area to hone your game. Lock in now and enjoy membership privileges at the Golf Club of Southampton.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season is finally here, and with that, hopefully comes cooler weather. And if you've been wanting to upgrade your outdoor living space and just haven't pulled the trigger, you should call the experts at Lifetime Enclosures right now. From glass lanais to screened-in enclosures, Lifetime Enclosures and Flooring is the best in the business. Give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Tell them Prosser sent you.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal, you look troubled. Is something bugging you?
This friendship isn't all upside for me, Jason. People keep asking me stuff about you.
They ask you about me?
Is it really cooler with Bueller, they ask? So I say, totally. And they say, how do you mean that? And I say, he fixes air conditioners, which literally makes somebody cool. But he also has cool sunglasses and cool people and a cool family.
And I try to make working at Bueller Air and Plumbing a really cool experience for our technicians and plumbers. We treat our people like gold, and they treat our homeowners the exact same way.
Great. Well, now there's another cool thing I've got to remember. This is a lot of responsibility, Jason.
Life can get hectic sometimes. If you don't take a moment to slow down and appreciate all the cool parts, you could miss it.
Do people ask you about me at all?
Weirdly, they do.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Davis, time winding down. Are they going to get the ball up in time? Clark for the win.
Did that sound like a buzzer beater to you?
It did. It did sound like a buzzer beater.
Ah.
I wonder whose.
I would guess caller number 2 in honor of number 22 is going to win the pair of tickets to go see Caitlin Clark and the Florida Forum Speaker Series that comes up October 29th. And I'm sure she will be a fantastic speaker. That, of course, will be at the Jacksonville Center for the Performing Arts, and it benefits the Women's Board for Wolfson Children's Hospital. All right. We got to make some picks, ladies and gentlemen. Well done, RJ. The standings look like this for the month of October. Again, no loser for the month of September. Tom and I have 6 points. Taylor has 4 points. So everyone is right still in it. We will kick things off at 3:30 tomorrow. The Georgia Bulldogs play host to the Ole Miss Rebels. Kirby Smart's group, 7.5-point favorites over Ole Miss. Tom, I'll start with you.
What did we go 3-2 last week?
Yeah, you two did.
Yes.
And then I went 2 and 3.
Yes.
You went 2 and 3?
Mhm.
Okay, cool. It's a fun one, man. I got to write your guys' down because I forget, and then I'm like, I don't even remember what they did. But nonetheless, let's start with me. I'm going to take Ole Miss.
Actually, Tom went 2 and 3 last week.
Oh.
The week before, 4-1.
Okay.
So that's
Oh,
how
I
we got.
didn't.
That's how we got to 6.
I think I went 3 and 2.
We'll discuss in the
We're
break.
gonna have to check that out. All right. Let's go on with this one, right? Ole Miss at Georgia. Georgia 7 and a hook.
That is correct, sir.
I'm going to take Ole Miss, and I like that Chambliss quarterback. I've only seen him a little
Trinidad
bit, but
Chambliss.
he is pretty bad to the bone. And the number 5 Ole Miss, what are they called? Rebels, running Rebels.
That's correct. Just the Rebels.
Just the Rebels. They're going to not beat Georgia, but they're going to cover the points. I think Georgia wins.
Yeah, I think Georgia wins, and unfortunately for me, because I hate Georgia, I think Georgia covers as well. So I've got Georgia Taylor.
Yeah, I think Georgia wins, but I think Ole Miss covers.
All
I
right.
think same with what Tommy said. I like both quarterbacks, honestly. They don't make a lot of mistakes. Georgia struggled running the ball last week, and I think they may get it going a little bit, but I don't know. I think that'll hold them back for the first half, and they'll end up winning, but I think Ole Miss covers at 7.5.
I can understand that. Look, I think Kirby Smart's not super excited about Lane Kiffin's comments about how he hasn't been eating well and losing calories. All right, let's
Burning
get it.
the calories.
Yeah, burning enough calories. Let's get it to Alabama. The third Saturday in October as Alabama plays host to Tennessee. Alabama 8.5-point favorites. I'm going to take Tennessee in those points. I just feel like 8.5 is too many. Tom?
Same. Yeah, I think Tennessee might pull it out, but I think it's going to be a tight game. I don't think it's going to be 8.5 points, but I'm taking Tennessee.
Taylor?
Yeah, I'm taking Tennessee too. To me, I just think both offenses are too good right now, so I think it's going to be one of those games where you'll see a whole lot of that. Bama has a super high completion percentage with Ty Simpson, obviously, but Tennessee just has the very up-tempo type of offense. I honestly could see a Tennessee upset, but I'm not totally calling that. I just think they'll be able to cover the 8.5.
And you're a Joey Aguilar fan.
Yeah, I'm his biggest fan this
As
whole
we
season.
are. All
Yeah,
are.
yeah,
For sure. All right, now let's get to the National Football League. The Chargers are 2-point favorites at home against the Colts. This line is a little surprising to me. I'll tell you that I'm going to take the Chargers at home, and I think they win by more than the 2 points just because of that West Coast road trip. But I know the Colts are 5-1, but the Colts haven't played anyone good to this point in the season. That good, I should say, outside of the Rams. I don't think they have any great victories. Taylor, who you got?
Yeah, I think the Colts win.
Wow.
The Chargers offense hasn't looked the same since Omarion Hampton went down,
Mhm.
and they've definitely factored. They haven't looked as efficient. They haven't looked as explosive. They haven't looked as scary as they looked with Omarion Hampton, and I do think that's kind of affected them. I think they're going to try and force the Colts to try and make them run the ball a lot and not do a lot with Tyler Warren through the air and some of those other weapons, but I don't know how successful it'll be, so I think the Colts win.
I think
interesting.
Yeah, that's a great pick. I'm going with the Chargers though, and look, the Colts went out to play the Rams. I thought the Rams would beat the Colts, and they did. And I think they're going to go out to the Chargers. I think the Chargers are going to beat them as well. I do think they cover, but I think it's like a 3-point game. I don't think it's any kind of massive 7-point or 10-point game. I think it's a pretty tight game. But I'm going to take the Chargers as well.
The Rams, by the way, have beaten all 3 of the AFC South
I saw
teams to
that.
this point in time.
And the Ravens, right?
Yeah, hopefully the Jaguars make that 1-3 when it comes to the 2025 NFL season. All right, we will go to the wild card and leave the Jaguars playing host to the Rams in London for last. Taylor, who you got?
Yeah, I think the Rams win this one, unfortunately. And I know no Puka Nacua, and I do think that affects the offense. But Devontae Adams in 4 games has 460 yards and 6 touchdowns against the Jags. And I just think there's too many errors right now, and I hope I'm wrong. Like, I hope that they bounce back after the Seattle game and you see kind of things go back to what they were. But I just don't. I think that defensive front is too good. We saw what they couldn't do against the Seattle defensive front, and this one's better. So that worries me a little bit. So I do think the Rams, and the 3 is what is like a little scary, but I think the Rams win by a touchdown.
Yeah, the Rams are favored by 3. All right, we won't leave the Jaguars for last. Tom, you're going Jags.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. All good. Tom, you're going Jags.
And I would, if I didn't think the Jags would win, I'd take the points and still, take the Jags in that regard. But I think the Jags are going to win. I think last week was more of an anomaly. I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. For whatever reason, they weren't physical.
You've loved that word today.
Yeah,
anomaly.
I've said it like 6 times all throughout the day. I'm surprised they didn't screw it up once either. I'm like, wow, you're pretty good.
got
at
this.
that.
Someone pay
Keep it
you?
going, Tom. Keep it going.
Someone pays you to say anomaly 6 times.
Add it to the drinking game. Across the
There you
pond
go.
and anomaly.
There you go. I think Hainsey should make a difference. And Monheim was fine,
right.
but I think one thing that Robert Hainsey showed me when he was playing was he was a pretty physical guy. And during camp, I didn't see like he was that physical. He can only be so physical during practice, but he's really shown that he can be. And I think they do get back on track. Ezra, there's no way Ezra's going to play as bad as he did again this week. Walker, maybe, because he's shown that he can. They're going to have to figure that out, but, like helping him out if need be. But, no, I think the Jags are going to win this one. I think it's going to be a really tight game, a really tough game, and I think we're going to come through. And I think Josh Hines-Allen wakes up. It's time for him to wake up. I'm sick and tired of talking about what-ifs. Pressures are great. I'm not saying they're not important, but they're not sacks, and you're paid to get sacks. You're paid to get a bunch of them and be one of the top pass rushers in the game. And I'm sorry, you have not shown that you're one of the top pass rushers in the game. You haven't been bad. You just haven't been great, and we expect you to be great.
I do think that the travel schedule for the Rams is not helping them. Obviously, they believe it's going to be perfectly fine, but that's the one strategic advantage that I'll give the Jaguars is their operations. They understand how to do this. They go every single year. A lot of these guys, the Jaguars players, have already been over there. And I do think that last week was a wake-up call for this team. I think they had been kind of riding a little high after beating the Chiefs.
Humble pie.
Yep, and then they absolutely had to watch that film and realize that a lot of them played poorly. Not all of them played horrible, but a lot of them played poorly. The penalties have to be cleaned up, if not now, when. So I'll take the Jaguars as well. I think the Jaguars eke out a victory, which would be amazing for those people who are going to be watching the game at One Monkey's Uncle in Jackson
That's right.
Beach.
We're going to go crazy.
It is going to be quite the scene. I'm sure will, if the Jaguars win, there will be lots of viral videos sent out. All right, and finally, wild card. Tom, I'll start with you on the
Sorry,
wild
I skipped
You're,
that,
you're
guys.
totally fine. Totally
Yeah,
fine.
I just picked my wild card, but I like it. I'm very confident in it.
So good thing I went with the Jags.
No, I picked it before we started, but I just picked it. And I like doing that kind of thing. That's just the way I do things.
Living life on the edge.
Yeah, that's right. I'm chasing life, not dollar bills, says Eric Church, right? In one of his songs. I think he does.
Sure.
Yeah, anyway.
I'm just trying to keep track of the picks because I've been
Tampa-
called wrong so many times. I've been wrong so many times
Tampa
this year.
going up to Detroit.
Okay, so the Monday Nighter.
Detroit's favored by 5 and a hook.
Yes, they are.
I'm taking Tampa and the points.
I looked at that one. I liked that one.
love it.
Other than
Tampa
it
and
is
the port,
Monday
and
night.
I'm
Let
taking
Baker
it.
bake.
Baker.
Yeah.
Baker.
I think that's a good call. I'm going to go, Taylor, with the Patriots going on the road to play the Tennessee Titans. The Titans just fired its head
looking at
coach,
that
fired
one.
their head coach. The Patriots are 7-point favorites. It's a big spread in the NFL as far as that is concerned. However, Mike Vrabel's homecoming. Vrabel is going to want to kick the Titans' rear end. And I also think Drake May is playing really good football in addition to that. So I'm going to take the Patriots -7 in Nashville.
That's 2 weeks in a row you're going with New England. Didn't you take
That
them
is
last
correct.
week? Yeah.
Excellent
Yeah.
memory. And
Good job.
that is the wild card for you last week was Chargers by 3.5 over the Dolphins, but the Chargers only won by 2. So that's how I had you at 2 because you had Auburn and then the Jaguars, unfortunately. The Jags lost. But Taylor, your wild card, please.
Yeah, I am going to the Texans at Seahawks. Seattle's only favored by 3
And that's a
in
late
this.
Monday nighter. That one kicks off at 10 p.m.
So we'll be waiting late to see this one. But
Yes.
Seattle's only favored by 3 in that one. I'm taking Seattle.
Okay.
I feel like the defensive line is going to rock the Texans' offensive line. I think
I can
that
see that.
Darnold's going to have a test with that secondary, but Darnold last year against the Texans threw 4 touchdowns and I believe beat the 34-7 is what Sam Darnold did last year.
Oof.
Granted, that was with the Vikings.
Right.
But still, he's been tested by that secondary and that defense already, and he was able to come out clean and with several touchdowns. So I think that for Seattle, I think they'll win by like 10, honestly.
All right, there you have it. Certainly, we'll all be rooting against the Titans and against the Texans as well as we always
That's
do,
right.
as well as against the Colts. All right, Sam Farmer from the LA Times is going to join us next.
Yeah.
We're going to talk all things Jaguars and Rams. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels, provided by Green Law Group. This is The Swamp.
Keeps after the fake, running right, blows in the end zone.
It's the other Bulldogs from Starkville.
Touchdown Gators!
Florida, Mississippi State. Saturday at 4 on Jacksonville's home of Florida Gators football. 1010 XL.
Frank Frangie here for South State Bank. At South State, they believe strong relationships build strong businesses. That's why they take the time to understand your goals, challenges, and vision so they can provide solutions tailored to your needs, like they've done for me for years. South State has always been there for our business and our charity. With a team you can trust and a commitment to personalized service, South State Bank is here to be more than your bank. They're your partner in business. Visit southstatebank.com. South State Bank, member FDIC.
Helmets and Heels Crown Royal Friday.
When you need plumbing, septic, or air conditioning service, trust matters. That's why more homeowners in Jacksonville choose DuckDuckRooter. From small plumbing repairs to major renovations, we do it all. Visit DuckDuckRooter.com. DuckDuckRooter. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
Lauren Brooks here. Closets by Design has almost 1,800 five-star Google reviews, and we certainly know why. We are already working on upgrading our laundry room since our closet design and install was so seamless. Goodbye clutter, hello organization. They can do the same for you as they create custom storage for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms and more. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off with free installation, but only until October 31st. 18-month financing is available. Call 904-878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Brackish Vodka, the spirit of the sportsman and proud partner of the Jaguars, is now available at the Fresh Market Spirits and Wine. The Fresh Market Spirits and Wine is a new adult beverage store offering spirits, wine, beer, and accessories at A1A North in Ponte Vedra, a first-of-its-kind destination for thoughtfully curated spirits, wine, and beer as only the Fresh Market can. And now, you can get Brackish Vodka at the Fresh Market. Brackish Vodka, for whatever your sport is. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. Clayton, let's talk about diamond cutting. How is a diamond price affected by the way it is cut?
Frank, that's probably the most important question asked about diamonds, because the trade-off between a diamond cut for maximum beauty and one that's not is the diamond's carat weight. You see, diamond cutters buy rough diamonds based on quality and weight. So as they cut the rough diamond, everything cut away affects profits. However, there's specific known cutting parameters, and each deviation from these means they have a heavier, less beautiful diamond. Unfortunately, a customer can't detect all those cutting imperfections. They need expert help about a diamond's cut grade. You see, for any round diamond of a particular color, clarity, and carat weight, there are as many as 10 different prices that can vary by as much as 50%. At Underwoods, we look specifically at how a diamond's cut before we look at anything else, because it's the most important factor when it comes to a diamond's beauty, and to us, whether it should carry the Underwood name or not.
The best value for golf in Jacksonville remains Cimarron, totally reestablished with new tee boxes, improved fairways and greens, also a brand new restaurant with indoor and outdoor settings, and live music. Join the Wild One loyalty program online at Cimarron Golf. When's the last time you played Cimarron? Cimarron Golf Club on 210, the Wild One.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
When the unexpected happens, you shouldn't have to face it alone. I'm Chris Campione, and at Campione Law, we're here to fight for you. Whether it's an auto accident or a slip and fall, our Jacksonville team takes care of every detail, from investigating the incident to securing multi-million-dollar verdicts, so you can focus on getting better. And remember, you don't pay a dime unless we win your case. Our commitment is 24/7, bringing you the real support from real people who really care. Campione Law, your dedicated partners in justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
Jaguars versus Rams across the pond. That's the phrase we've been saying.
That's right.
And looking at this, most big plays through 6 weeks so far in the NFL. The top 5 teams. The number one is the one you don't want to hear right now, but the Los Angeles Rams.
Yep.
They have 10 rushes, 10 plus, so long rushes, 10 plus yards. They have 19 of them so far this season and 28 receptions of 20 plus yards. So they have 47 big plays. That's 7.8 a game.
Yep.
The next closest behind them is the Bears with 36, so almost 10 ahead of that next closest team. Behind them is the Falcons with 35. And then you've got the Bucks and the Bills right behind that. So those are the top 5 best teams right now through 6 weeks with big plays. The bottom 5, you have the Tennessee Titans, the New Orleans Saints, the Miami Dolphins, the Browns, and the Bengals. So 2 opposite spectrums, and when you look at that, it's 17. The Bengals only have 17 big plays. That's the 20-plus yard receptions or 10-plus yards in a run, and they only have 17. And to Los Angeles Rams 47. So that's something you should expect. The Seahawks, by the way, are just a couple behind that. They're 7th in the league, and that's something I mentioned last week. That's one of the things they're really good at is those explosive big plays, and the Rams are even better than them. So that's something you got to watch out for this week.
Nakua's out. And he had 9, I know that.
Yeah.
But Devontae has 8, which is incredible for a guy.
And Kyron Williams has 8. I mean, they have 19, and I would guess Kyron is 10, 11 of those.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Got to limit the big plays, that's for sure.
Yep. You ready to talk some more Rams? Let's talk to Sam Farmer.
Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line.
Hello.
Your floor's missing piece.
All right, from the LA Times and winner of the 2019 Dick McCann Memorial Award from the Pro Football Hall of Fame, it's Sam Farmer on the line. Sam, how are you? Say hello to Helmets and Heels with Lauren Brooks, Taylor Dahl, and your old pal, Tom McManus. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, Tom. Thank you. And hi, ladies. That's great. And it was interesting that the big play stats, and Tom, you mentioned Puka Nacua being out, and that really hurts that number a little bit. And Kyron Williams, if he can hang on to the ball at the end of those big runs, that's another thing, ball security. So I don't know that stat fully tells the story, but it is what it is. They're a tough team right now.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
So's Jacksonville.
Yeah, we are.
It's going to be a great game.
We are, and we're hoping we show up as a tough team coming this Sunday. Now, I know you cover the Chargers. You look at the Rams as well. Matt Stafford doesn't practice all training camps, got the back problem, but, man, he's off to a pretty darn good start. What makes him special, Sam, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think he's just so accurate and so smart. When he gets the protection he needs, if he gets that extra second to find his receivers, he's got some excellent receivers. I mean, obviously, Devontae Adams, great player. Puka's been great. Cooper Kupp in years past. And Tutu Atwell. Sure-handed receivers, very smart with the way he takes care of the football. And, he's tough, too. He's really tough. Like, you wouldn't necessarily think that with Matthew Stafford, but some of the you look at that NFL Films footage of him getting a dislocated shoulder in his rookie year and coming in, not leaving the game. Super tough guy, really melds well with Sean McVay and what Sean McVay wants to do. And this is the first time in history they took a number 1 overall pick and traded him for a number 1 overall pick in the Matthew Stafford Jared Goff deal, which really worked out well for both franchises. So this is the guy Sean McVay wanted, and he proved it out by winning a Super Bowl in L.A.
Sam, you mentioned at the top the Kyron Williams holding on to the ball issue right now. It was a little bit of one last year, and then now early on this season, you're seeing it again. How much is the chatter around that of how incredible he can be if he can just hold on to the ball?
Yeah, I mean, that was particularly where it happened, and the fumble I'm thinking of is right at the goal line against the 49ers. So the opponent, the situation in L.A., they're going in to win the game, and shockingly, he gets it hammered out of his hands right literally at the goal line. So I think that particular fumble will sort of live in infamy in Rams history. But I don't know if this guy's got a chronic fumbling problem per se. He certainly is, I'm sure, going to redouble his efforts to hang on to the ball, though, after that fiasco.
Absolutely. Sam, I'm sure they've worked on that a ton over in Baltimore this past week. If the Rams have a weakness defensively that the Jaguars can exploit, what would you say it is? Running the football?
Yeah, I think that the corners. I think they've got a great pass rush. Jared Verse, Byron Young coming off the edges. They're very stout. They didn't take a huge step back when Aaron Donald retired from their pass rush and their front four. But I would say they could use help on the corners, like a lot of teams, and they're so rare, good cornerbacks to find. But that's been an issue for them, and they did a decent job with Christian McCaffrey. But I think when you get a fast player out in space, that can give any defense problems, and the Rams are no exception as far as that's concerned. And also, going all the way across halfway around the world to play a game, even though they've had this layover in Baltimore this week, is really going to be a challenge. And the Jaguars are used to this. The Jaguars have some big wins. That's a tough team. I think it's going to be a great game.
Sam Farmer here with us from the LA Times. Sam, what kind of guy is Sean McVay? He feels like he's a hybrid of a player's coach and then an old school accountability coach. I get a feeling that Liam's a little bit like that as well, but what's your take on Sean McVay, the head coach?
It was, early on, I wasn't quite sure how to read Sean. To me, he sounded exactly like Gruden, and I covered John early in his career, in his first year as head coach in Oakland. I was a Raiders beat writer. And he really felt like that. But now, getting to know him, I think he's matured. And I like John a lot. I'm not suggesting that John's not mature. I just think Sean has sort of grown into his own, super smart, super high energy, as you might expect. Mm-hmm. Legendary memory for plays, things like that. Very, very bright. And he's got the coaching lineage, dating back to his grandfather, John McVay, and his dad, Tim McVay, also coached. And so he's got deep roots, even though he was hired at, 30 years old, youngest coach ever. And so he's sort of an old soul in that way. But I know he and Liam are close. And Liam, I remember there was that week that Baker Mayfield came to the Rams, and Liam got him ready in 3 days. It's a little bit like the Joe Flacco thing last night.
Mm-hmm.
He got him ready in 3 days and came out and beat the Raiders in an otherwise lost Rams season. So I think they think alike. And McVay has an impressive tree. If you look at his coaching tree, a lot of these guys coach for 20 years and they don't have any buds on their tree. And Sean McVay has a bunch of head coaches. So he's clearly doing something right.
Yeah, the McVay tree is quite big at this point in time. What's the view, the mindset of Trevor Lawrence from the LA point of view? We talk about it here in Jacksonville, and a lot of people, even here, it's very split on what Trevor Lawrence is, where his ceiling is. What are the thoughts on that over there on the West Coast?
Yeah, I think people are still trying to figure out who Trevor Lawrence is, what as a quarterback, but that game that he won, and I'm going to forget whether it was a Sunday night game or Monday night game, he threw those two pinpoint passes, and then that scored that wild touchdown where he fell down, and yep. I just looked. To me, it reminded me of Andrew Luck in that moment, and obviously so athletic and promising, and you're just kind of waiting now for him to cash in on that potential, but the Chargers will certainly remember him. That's the way they imploded in that playoff game, and Trevor Lawrence played great in the second half of that game, and that just scalded them. We have a similar situation here with Justin Herbert, and incredible potential, looks fantastic, but you kind of wonder if he's got warning track power, because he's great in the regular season, but he's never won a playoff game. And so, you wonder if this is the year for him. And with Trevor Lawrence, it feels like, hey, you got a good team around you, you're playing well, the stars could be aligning.
Well, Sam, we need your Chargers to beat the Colts on Sunday, knock them back.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I'm picking the Colts in that, but yes, that's a really tough one. Chargers are pretty banged up, but they played well enough last week at Miami to beat the Dolphins, but on that last minute drive. But the Dolphins got the worst run defense in the league, and they're sort of a mess too. So the Chargers are so banged up. The offensive line, they're down to their third running back. But maybe they can do it. Maybe they can knock off the Colts. It's a weird league. Weird stuff happens, and that's why I look at that Rams-Jaguars game, and I say it's really anybody's bet there.
Well, you got two teams there that are 4-2, Sam, keeping you on your toes, man, following them and reporting on them. The Rams have beaten every AFC South division member other than our Jags. So, of course, we want the Jags to take care. We appreciate your time, brother. And maybe in a few weeks when we have the Chargers,
absolutely.
Maybe we can reach back out and you can break down the L.A. Chargers.
I would love that. And you were a BC legend and one of the founding fathers there in Jacksonville. So I salute you.
Hey, man, it's good to talk to you. I remember Panos putting us together, our friend Mike Panos, and I was like, Sam and I met a long time ago at Radio Row, man. I remember you walking through the crowd.
Ryan Saxton's a good buddy of mine, too.
That's right.
Some of your old teammates.
Another BC teammate. Yeah, great. Well, Sam, thanks so much, man. I really appreciate your time, brother.
You guys have a great day.
Thanks so much. You do the same. And by the way, Dodgers tonight.
Yeah.
Game 3, they are up 2-0. Yeah,
I love
Game
the
3
Browns
against
coming
the Brewers. By the way, programming notes: The Frangie Show has Hayes and Hacker 4 to 6 on 92.5 FM this afternoon. Into the Night with Rick Ballou 4 to 6 p.m. on 1010 a.m. College Kickoff with R.J. Saunders from 6 to 7. Bishop Kenny versus First Coast on both stations. Since Bulls played last night, beat Riverside 45 to 14. And then, of course, Friday Night Lights comes up with Hacker and Dylan following that. One segment to go here on Helmets and Heels on a Football Friday on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels. Brought for you by Queen Law Group on 1010XL.
Introducing the Jags Stack at Firehouse Subs. A sub so bold, we had to name it after the team that roars. Packed with protein and made to satisfy a football-sized appetite. It's stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, and roast beef. Topped with provolone fresh veggies and our new Duval drizzle. Order the new Jags Stack in the app right now. Available for limited time at participating Jacksonville Firehouse Subs restaurants. The hottest subs in
Crown Royal Friday. Live generously and life will treat you royally.
Make Honda of the Avenues your first stop for award-winning customer service and world-class Honda vehicles. Our inventory is larger than ever, which means we have the perfect Honda waiting for you. Plus, at Honda of the Avenues, we always put our customers first, making the car buying experience fun, fast, and easy. You'll always find great deals on our huge selection of new and certified pre-owned Hondas, all prepped and ready for a test drive. Come see just how different car buying can be at Honda of the Avenues today. Stop by or shop from home at HondaoftheAvenues.com. Proud sponsor of Sporting Jags.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Your favorite band live, First Chord Hits. That's a thrill. But for the accident attorneys at Farah & Farah, one thrill beats them all.
It's the thrill of the win. But I've been there when the worry is real, when the bills pile up, when the pain doesn't quit, and getting the call that says, "We came through for you." That's huge. It's about seeing that weight lift, helping folks walk out better than when they walked in. Yeah, we're built for that.
Call Farah & Farah, Jacksonville.
Keeping kids active is a full-time job for parents, so let I-9 Sports help. They've got winter and spring registration open right now for kids all over the First Coast to enjoy their favorite sports. Log on to i9sports.com and don't miss out on the upcoming seasons. Enter 1010 in the promo code.
All right, Prosser here, and I've been telling you about Chad and Sandy. They make the promise. Let me show you some of the proof. This is Nicoletta and Daniel in Panther Creek. We don't recommend this, but we bought our new house before we sold our old one. Then, worst case scenario happened. Our old home failed to sell in a year with another realtor. Finally, we got smart. We hired Chad and Sandy, and they sold it in 10 days above asking price. These are the results you're getting with Chad and Sandy at chadandsandy.com. Area homes are selling, but you got to have the right people on your side. Maybe you want max price. Doesn't matter if you're buying or selling. Maybe you just want to sell right now. Well, fast, easy, and stress-free, that's what Chad and Sandy bring to you. They have this guarantee. They guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. They're the local real estate experts you can trust for all of your real estate needs. Go to chadandsandy.com today. That's chadandsandy.com, or call that help hotline, 904-414-6200.
Tickets are on sale now for this year's Florida Forum Speaker Series featuring professional basketball player Caitlin Clark, Russian politician Vladimir Kara-Murza, and chef Jose Andres. The Women's Board of Wolfson Children's Hospital has committed to raising $1.5 million to support the new outdoor play area dedicated to therapists as an expansion of the 20-bed Wolfson Children's Behavioral Health and Wellness. Get your tickets now by clicking thefloridaforum.com.
Jacksonville, get ready to spice up your night at One Night Taco Stand every Taco Tuesday. Enjoy their mouth-watering tacos for just $3.49 and all day, every day, 2-for-1 house margaritas and 2-for-1 daiquiris. Find fresh Mexican street food, stiff drinks, and fun vibes at One Night Taco Stand with 3 Jacksonville locations in Mandarin, Orange Park, and Southside at Bay Meadows.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
By the way, Dodgers up 3-0, not 2-0. Thank you, RJ, for the clarification. They won last night 3-1. I'm so used to the 5-game series that I forget now. All right, time now for today's Terminix Pest of the Day. Is always brought to you by our friends at Terminix. You can find them online at Terminix.com. That's TERMINIX.com. They take care of Everbank Stadium, ViStar Ballpark, ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, where that Eric Church concert will be in April, and also my house. So they can do the same for you and your business. When we had a slight issue with ghost ants earlier this week, they came right out, sprayed, and now those ghost ants are ghosts, so to speak. All right, the Pest of the Day today. I don't like this trend in college football whatsoever. Georgia is the latest to join many of their SEC counterparts in adding a logo on the football field. Can we stop with the greed in this sport that I love so much in college football?
Oh, the sponsor logo.
Yes. Delta Airlines will now be featured on the field, their logo in Sanford Stadium between the hedges. Some things we have to protect.
Yeah.
College football uniforms don't need sponsors logos. College football fields don't need sponsor logos. Yeah. Come on, man.
Yep.
Just give me my pure sport back, please.
Yeah. You got enough money from the TV contract, damn it.
Thank you.
You don't need more.
Well, they're like, we got to play these players now.
Yeah, right.
And by the way, the coaches over $10 million as well.
$93 million to Signetti if he's fired unrightfully.
Yeah, guaranteed $93 million.
100%, right? Yeah, that's awesome.
Exactly.
Good
All
for
right,
him.
let's say hello to Hayes.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Hayes, I'm still wearing orange and blue on these Fridays. I have not given up
You're
yet.
You're a diehard.
What
a great Gator.
I literally
in
put
all
on
kinds of weather.
Oh my gosh! I put
we'll
on
all
Jag
stick together.
Stuff. Yeah, I put on
Here,
Jag
let's
stuff
do We
and I
Are
was
the
like, I
Boys for 90 seconds. We'll sway.
Okay, yeah. I did put on Jag stuff, and I was like, I can't. I'm still true to my school.
It's literally like you want them to win. You'll watch the game.
Do we?
I mean, I'll pull for them to
No,
win.
I will too.
But honestly, I think they're going to lose, even though they're favored.
Mhm.
And
By 8.5.
once it's over, yeah, that makes no sense to me.
None.
And if they lose as soon as the clock hits 0, it'll be like, all right, let's fire them and move on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just it's amazing how numb the fan base has become. It used to be you lost a football game and it was devastating.
Absolutely.
Because it didn't happen all
I
that
didn't
often.
sleep at nights when it would happen.
And now
But
it's
the
just like,
Swamp-
well, of course they lost. Billy Napier's coaching them.
The Swamp
so,
is still going to be sold out, so the
yeah.
apathy hasn't reached that type of
Right.
level by any means. We have friends who literally told us weeks ago, the moment he's fired, the next weekend we're having a party.
Yeah.
So we
Celebration
no longer,
party.
we no
So
longer
next
have-
weekend.
Right,
yeah.
which is a bye weekend.
Perfect
Yeah,
timing.
yeah.
So yeah.
Are you on the Lane train?
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm like same, and I'm not even a Gator fan.
If it's not Lane Kiffin, I'm gonna be just distraught for
He'll be
months
great.
on end. But we'll see. We'll see how it wraps up. We'll get into all that coming up on the Frangie Show. Frank obviously in London getting ready to call Jags Rams. So Hacker kind enough to join us again today. We'll have Pete Prisco at 5:15. So that'll be good to talk Jaguars and kind of all things NFL with Pete. But yeah, Hacker and I will continue to get into the Florida coaching search, which we believe is eventually coming, and we'll break down the final angles of Jags Rams.
This has been one of the stranger college football seasons. Like
Yes.
last year was already strange with the way things started. We thought Napier would be fired mid-season, move along, and then obviously Florida goes on to win the 8 games in general. But this season seems even stranger than that.
And it's going to get really strange in the next 24 hours because the slate tomorrow and starting tonight
Mm-hmm.
suggests this could be a wild college football weekend.
yeah.
So I don't think Miami's out of the woods tonight.
No,
And then you've got LSU at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's
Oh yeah,
favored.
which is stunning.
That's so crazy.
I mean,
That's insane.
I mean, Ole Miss, Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
Alabama,
Yep.
Tennessee, even like Auburn, Missouri is kind of a
Absolutely.
sneaky important game. So that's just
Georgia
in the
Tech, Duke.
SEC.
Right.
Then you
Yeah,
get
Georgia Tech, Duke will
you
be
get
good.
that. You
Yeah.
get Notre Dame and USC.
Which
so.
has fallen
We're
completely under the
also in a
radar.
world
Yeah.
where Indiana's like a 25-point favorite over Michigan
amazing.
State.
That's
too.
unbelievable.
It's amazing, and Indiana is guaranteed the football coach $93 million.
Right.
yeah.
And it's
Where
not-
are we?
We're not talking about
But
basketball.
love it.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Have a great weekend. All right. Reminder: Tom McManus will be at Monkey's
Yes.
Uncle in Jack's Beach at 9:00 on Sunday morning. So join
Ish.
him. Game kicks off at 9:30.
I'll be there.
I've got
Before
Halloween
kickoff.
Bunko tonight, so wish me luck.
Good luck.
All right, Bunko.
Yeah, let's do this
Bongo.
thing.
I'm
Is it
gonna
Bunko
finish
or
Ed
Bongo?
Gein tonight. That's what I'm doing.
You're gonna what?
Finish the Ed Gein thing I've been watching.
Okay,
Oh,
there we
okay.
go. All right, RJ, have a great show tonight. For Taylor Dahl, for Tom McManus, for RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talking. We will talk to you on Monday, but don't go anywhere. The Frangie Show, and also in